Hey, welcome back YouTube. I wanted to take you guys and show you guys the tools that I use the majority of the time. More than anything else, these are the tools that I'm grabbing. All right, so let's jump right into it. So Paul Sellers, rag in a can, amazing. A rag in a can, Paul Sellers. Put oil inside of it, it works. So whenever you're putting a tool away, you can just wipe it on there. I use Ballistol. Ballistol is not going to stain or soften wood. It's good for wood. It can be used as a conditioner. Many oils are not. So I use Ballistol a lot. It's good for your skin. It was used in one of the wars for first aid. So anyways, second, card scraper. I made this one myself, but you can use it to tiller bows. Where the plane stops, the hand plane, the card scraper is going to start. So it takes off. Very small, whimsy shavings. That's exactly what you want. The greater majority of the time, I like older natural things, and I do. I like using stones for sharpening. But there's a lot to be said for diamond stones that are always going to stay nice and sharp. Well, they do wear out, but they stay nice and sharp real consistently, and they're flat. You don't have to flatten these. And when you're sharpening chisels and plane irons and stuff and cabinet scrapers on these, you don't have to worry about flattening that stone. These stones stay flat. I use Windex. This is another idea that I got from Paul Sellers, and he has greatly influenced where I am today by just watching his YouTube videos. And I'll post his stuff in the bottom below. One thing I find myself reaching for quite a bit is a 1/2-inch chisel. Nothing fancy. I kind of abuse this chisel a little bit. It's the one that's just out and about. It's not in a set place in the shop. And I'm chipping off dowels. I'm chipping out stuff I sawn. I just use it for whatever needs to be cut at the time. But I find myself always reaching for that 1/2-inch chisel. A square is something, and I made this myself. I use both wood and metal, all different types and sizes. But I am always finding myself using a square quite a bit. Right. So, measuring. Rarely on this workbench do I ever pull out a tape measure. It's usually when I'm working on stuff past 6 foot. Stick rules are an awesome thing. They stay nice and stiff if you're measuring something and you're just wanting to go just a little ways. Instead of pulling out that tape measure, you got this. It's not going to bend. It's not going to change. You can use it as a straight edge. Also, I love using a stick ruler. This is a 2 foot. They can come in 2, 3, 6 is what I know. Other than that, they might come any size. I don't know. Draw knife. Working with green wood, dried wood, bow wood, handles, spindles, whatever you want to be working with. This is a French style. It has rounded. I love this thing. You've seen it in my bow videos. I grab it, it's concave, it has a real good sweet spot wherever I want that, so I have a hot spot right there on the wood that I'm working on. Works great. My plane, the plane I grab the most is a jack plane. I grabbed this jack plane for 2 reasons. It's made out of wood, so it makes the wood to wood slide amazing. I love the way that wood to wood feels as you're moving it. The second reason, this is a lot lighter than a lot of metal bodied planes. I like the way it feels, fits great in the hand. I can't say enough about this. The jack is the jack of all trades but master of none. This can do pretty much the middle really well, and it can do both sides. It can get a little bit finer, it can get a little bit rougher depending on how you set it up, but it's not going to beat the tools that are only made for that one specific task. But I find myself reaching for this the majority of the time. Okay, a hammer. hammer for a lot of different reasons, whether I'm tapping chisels, tapping dowels in, tapping pieces together, adjusting my plane. I love this. This is just a ball peen hammer with a handle that I made. I really enjoy it a lot. It always stays in my plane box right there. I pull out a plane and I can tap and adjust that blade. All right, a saw. It's a saw that I'm always reaching for, and I'll tell you the truth, there's a 12-point crosscut saw out there that I really like using a lot, but the 8-point has it beat. I seen this in a store. It's missing an inch and a half down here from the gentleman who had this before me, and he loved it, took care of it. I didn't see any rust on this. The teeth were nice, sharp, straight, set, and well taken care of, but he wore it down an inch and a half at least. And when I seen that, I was like, I just can't let that saw go by the wayside. I'm gonna need to take that and go on with it. Whoever that was, they would have enjoyed knowing that I'm keeping the saw going. So I will. And I find myself reaching for this saw, and this tip's getting pretty skinny down here. But man, I love this saw. I don't know why. It just gets me. All right, the last item that I have to mention today, and like I'm telling you, there could be other things I use a lot that I don't realize I use, but this is a straight edge that I made. It's wood. I like working with wood. If you drop a metal one, you can ding it. You can put a little nick in it. When you run your pencil line down it, it's going to hit that nick, and that, you know. But this is wood. I can set it right here. I can run a plane on it and retrue this thing up. I took 2 quarter sawn pieces of wood and glued them together. This is out of the floor of our house. Our house, the original part of our house was made in, they started working on it in 1857 and 1856, 1857, one or the other. And man, I love this thing. I just use this for a straight edge, for, you know, leveling out 2 different pieces, for if I'm planing a piece of wood and I'm wondering where that high and low spot are or how much I'm off, I'm using this, and I like this a lot. And I really like this. You might not like that, but I really like that design right there. And I put it on a lot of the stuff that I work on, but like, man, that's cool. I put the holes in it to hang it. And why am I talking so much about this? Well, I'll tell you why, because I love it. I made it and I love it, and it's mine. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope that if you're just starting, or you're thinking, man, I'd like to get into some woodworking. Well, it's not going to really cost you that much, and you just buy what you need at the time. The young man or woman's mistake is that when they're going into it and they have nobody there to help them with decision making, they'll go, oh, I need that, I need this, I need that. And then yeah, if you looked over that way, you'd see a bunch of stuff sitting there that hardly ever gets used. But I do use the stuff eventually. So hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making these videos. If you like this content, subscribe. If you want to change the content, post a comment or 2. So until next time, you guys have a great week.